Ladies and gentlemen, can I please have your attention?
This is my final MAFS-related interview.
What sort of villain gets that?
It's Australia's reaction. It's an
This
exclusive.
is an exclusive. That's hitting the cutting room floor, bro.
Caused a lot of drama and it never got aired. It just went nuts.
Welcome back, guys. So, Alyssa, last time we were talking about what is in this book you came in holding, and I feel like we're just about to talk about some juicy stuff.
Okay, so I did bring my diary. It has been through hell and back with me from the beginning, from the day before I got married all the way to the end. So
Come on, let's get into
let's
it.
go. Ready to delve into this.
Are you ready?
Am I ever ready?
Yes, you are.
I am ready. And I do want to say as well that I have been getting a bit of flack with people being like, get over it. It's been a year. And I just want to say, like, it takes a long time for somebody to heal.
Yeah.
And you can't shit on my truth when I have done a lot of healing and I'm now ready to talk about it, whether it takes a month or 3 months or 6 months or 6 years. Like, just respect me in that fact.
You tell
Let's
them.
definitely go. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Let's open this little. Okay. Where do I even start? What do you guys want to know? This is about like the honeymoon.
Whatever you feel comfortable sharing, baby.
Let's see. Dinner party last night was hectic.
What about before you guys were intimate? Was there?
Well, that was at the honeymoon.
Oh, maybe let's start with that.
Yeah.
No, we were intimate at the honeymoon. That's what I mean.
And things were just good. Like you
Things
didn't
were so
write
good,
anything.
and things just got even better. I said here, so this is on the 31st of August, and to put it into context, we got married on the 24th of August, right? It says, I still have some reservations that I'm not voicing yet. I'm still a bit worried if he's attracted to me. We had sex once and it was great, but we haven't done anything since, which is weird. I feel like maybe I'm being a bit friend-zoned. Makes me scared.
Wow. I find that so interesting.
Yeah.
So when you wrote that down, how much time was in between when y'all were intimate and when you were talking to
Let's see. I gotta pull out the calendar now because if we got married on the 24th of August, then we went straight onto our honeymoon that next day for 3 days.
Okay.
And so it would have been 4 days. I feel like if you're in a new relationship, you've got to be banging at least once a day, right?
Yeah, you're
At
right.
least.
Yeah.
You're right.
At least once a day. And it was just, it was weird because like it was a big thing and then it was like nothing. And I was like, oh, what the hell? Like that was a bit weird.
Do you think that's a red flag in itself? Not knowing if the other person finds you attractive?
100%.
Because we all know my journey,
Yes,
why
yes.
he didn't find me attractive.
Yeah.
But that took until confessions week for him to confess that.
That's ridiculous.
You know? So that, do we all agree that's a red flag?
It is
Most
a red
definitely.
flag because you should be open and honest. You don't have to be attracted to everyone. Like I get like being attracted to somebody, it's going to be different for everybody.
Yeah.
But you also have to voice that.
I agree. You need to communicate that.
Communication
like,
is
babe, you look
key.
really nice today.
Yeah.
Did you do something different with your hair?
Yes, anything.
Anything. The bare minimum, man. Sorry.
No, you
I
can
love it. Okay, so this is talking about. Confessions week. I said I confessed about. We'll leave his name out of it. My marriage when I was dating that married guy. And I said, he's confessed he's broken up with all of his exes because of his high expectations. Excuse me, what? That is not a fucking confession. I immediately was angry and started to get anxious and cry because I felt like a fool. Producers told me not to talk to him about it until we were on camera. So I came back to the apartment and said nothing and went to bed. I was emotionally shattered. I felt like an idiot. Like he was saving face and not being true and authentic like me. I felt like shit. The next morning, that stuff about Leon. Can't talk about that.
That's cool. But just to make it clear for the listeners, were you married to the baby daddy, to Leon?
Okay,
Leon's
yes. Let's
dad.
let's just be very clear about, I was married to the baby daddy. That was not who I had an affair with. My affair happened 12 years ago when I was living in California. I was 22, 23 years old. He was not married when we started seeing each other at the gym. And then all of a sudden he came into work. He was my boss. I worked at a bank. He came into work and he was wearing a wedding ring. And I was like, what is this? And he's like, oh, it's just for a visa. He's like, it's not a real marriage. So he had told me that he wasn't actually married in real life. So I was like, oh, well, that kind of makes sense because we were spending 24/7 together. And then people were starting to clue on in our relationship at work. And so he's like, look, I'm going to fill out your paperwork so you can go on stress leave. And then I love your face. So you can
I'm like, oh, goddamn.
yeah, so you can go on stress leave because he was trying to get a promotion to another branch. And he's like, by the time you go on stress leave for 3 months, my whole visa marriage thing will be over. I'll be at a different branch and we can become public with our relationship. I was like, that sounds great. My first narcissist I've ever dated, right? And so part of being on stress leave is you go and see a therapist, and this therapist basically uncovered that I was being highly manipulated, and he was a huge narcissist. He was like stopping me from seeing all of my friends, was only letting me like go to the gym with him, like controlling everything. Yep. And she's like, I have a gut feeling that he is actually married, and this is another part of his lie.
Yep.
She's like, do some research. And so I had a bottle of wine that night, and I went into the depths of Instagram. Again, this is when Instagram was like kind of first coming out, right? Like this was a long time ago. Found his ex's or his wife's Instagram, and they looked like a perfect couple. So the next morning at the gym, I showed it to him, and I was like, what the F is this? And he's like, you have no idea. And I was like, we're done. And I cut it off then. What the fuck? I gave all that context on the show, but they cut it all out.
Yeah, we didn't hear any of that
context
so it looked,
in.
Yeah, like you were totally contradicting yourself.
Which is why I was so up in arms about the cheating scandal, because I had been that other woman. I know how toxic and how destructive cheating can be. And it wasn't just about the kiss. It was the fact that Adam and Claire lied about it for 3 weeks, and they made Jesse feel crazy. They made Janelle feel crazy. They made all of us feel crazy. That was why I was so upset. So I get why it looked hypocritical. Watching back, if that was the only context I had, I would have been like, she's a hypocrite, she's crazy. But now again, learning the context of it, now you can kind of understand why I was so upset about it.
That's a very important piece of the puzzle.
That makes so much sense.
Yeah.
Oh my God, thank you for sharing that.
Of course.
Wow.
She's like, let me flick through.
Yeah.
I got some more.
She's licking them fingers, flicking the page.
So this is also saying, because once Duncan and I spoke again on camera about our confessions, then I felt really bad, because it goes, that made me realize, who am I to judge who is worse and better? If he's telling me that's his biggest confession, then I'll trust him that it is. I'm going to give it my all into my experiment, and I would only be cheating myself if I didn't go all in. So
you're actually having like positive affirmations, man.
Yeah, and owning your own shit. Yeah,
always. And this is again, it was like, oh, see, look at this. Hang on, sorry. This is the first time I've actually read all the way through it. His mom keeps talking about, so Duncan's mom keeps talking about Duncan meeting Leon, but I'm not ready for that. That's a huge step and something I don't want to take lightly. Like when we were arguing, the night he went out and got drunk, I just cried, and I was like, look at what I'm sacrificing. Look at what I'm going through for this. I told him if he's not in it, he needs to tell me now, because I can easily turn off my feelings to protect myself and protect my heart. But he said he's in it 100% and he's committed to me 100%. Fuck, I hope he's being honest and truthful. Imagine if this is my fairy tale ending. Sad. R.I.P. to me. It says, regardless, I know the universe has my back. She is shining down on me, beaming, saying, this is it, babe. Now is your time to shine. You've waited for this your whole life. Now is my time for me.
Wow. Did you feel like when he said that to you, you felt it?
No, I didn't. Every time, and that's why, like, I always just got this gut feeling that he was, like, saying all of the things right.
Yeah.
It didn't give me that feeling. He was not showing me that these feelings were true.
Yeah.
He kept saying, I'm committed to you. I am in this. I'm here for it. But then he would go out and then not speak to me for 3 days. You know what I mean? Or he would
3 days?
Yeah. When I would go home with Leon, I wouldn't hear from him.
No problems at all.
But then again, I do want to say, but then again, once I brought that up to him, then I would start to hear from him more often.
Okay.
So again, it's about communication.
Yeah.
Again, this is like, so this was after our first commitment ceremony. So it says, I'm wondering if Duncan is playing an act. What the F am I doing here? And I don't want to quit for the sake of quitting, but at what cost? Of course, Duncan doesn't want me to leave because he wants me on the show so he can stay, which is why I think he is trying to woo me so I stay. And being supportive so I stay. I feel sick. I feel shattered. What happens after all of this? Duncan and I haven't even spoken about it. Like, I literally have a child.
I love that.
I have 2 options here. 1, quit. 2, stay. turn my feelings off for Duncan so I don't get hurt. Imagine me staying and falling for Duncan for him to dump me once the show airs because of how much attention he will be getting. That is my biggest fear and something I don't want. But instead, he dumped me at the end before everything aired.
Is this okay? Like, you have...
Yeah, no, this is fine. That's what I mean. I'm ready to talk about this because this is the truth behind it all. You know what I mean? This is why I was feeling the way I was feeling.
I just don't want you to, like, relive this trauma.
No, it's all good. That's what I mean. Like, I've done so much work that, like, reliving this trauma, this is almost like liberating for me to actually come out and speak about it because it's my truth.
I'm so proud of you. Yes.
Sorry, before you read that one.
Yes.
Did you kind of feel like you should have listened to your intuition the first time?
Absolutely.
When
Absolutely,
things are
I
starting
do.
to get sour, you're like, God damn, I should have just listened to myself.
I do, but again, like, I don't want to live my life with regrets.
Absolutely,
and
as you
thinking,
said, most
because
definitely.
Yeah.
The reason that we went all through that and the reason why, you know, we're here today is
because
there's
of
a
that.
bigger
Yeah.
reason. You know what I mean? Everything in the universe, like, yes, we do have our free will, but I do feel like there's a part to play, whether it's showing how resilient I am and showing how strong I actually am to get through something like this. I've been through a lot of shit in my past, and this is just something else that I have to overcome and just speak out about it. Whether it's about mental health, whether it's about helping people like have mental health, or whether it's about, you know, realizing that if you're in a relationship and you have that gut feeling, like, listen to that gut feeling before you get even more hurt.
Yeah.
So it's good. It's definitely been a journey, that's for sure, but it's crazy.
And rejection is a redirection,
Absolutely.
right?
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah.
I love that. I want to speak about final vows as well, because
Please.
our homestays was great for me. I feel like homestays is exactly what I needed to see how it was going to work in the real world.
Yep.
It was filmed over Halloween, so I told production I need to leave at 3:00. Halloween is like the biggest holiday for me.
Yeah.
I'm American.
For real.
Yeah.
So I needed to go home to take Leon trick-or-treating. And I was like, this is actually like a real life event that if like Duncan and I were hanging out, I'd be like, okay, well, I'll see you tomorrow because I need to go with Leon. And also I want to say that whole every other Wednesday, every other weekend thing, that was temporary until I felt confident enough to introduce Duncan to Leon. When you are a single mom, you're not going to introduce every single person that you're dating to your kids. They get attached. It gets messy.
Yep.
You are there to protect them and to protect their heart more than you are to protect theirs. So I was not about to go introduce Duncan to Leon. And that's why I found it so weird that I was like getting berated for saying that I'm only available every other weekend, because when you're a single mom, that's how it is. Until you feel confident enough and your relationship has grown enough to where you feel comfortable with introducing them to your children.
100%.
Okay, so this is talking about I'm fully prepared to walk away from the show. I cannot and will not accept anything less. It's not fair on Leon. Alex and Molly, who were the executive producers, will be talking to me at retreat about it. Not sure what they're going to say, but I'll work out when I get there. That was about him saying that I have too high expectations.
Wow.
And I was like, if that's too high expectations, then what am I doing here?
Yeah, that's true.
Like, that's bare minimum.
In relation to the texting and wanting a bit more attention?
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah. Yep.
I don't blame you for feeling that.
Yeah, me
Yep.
neither.
Yeah. I don't blame you for that.
Absolutely valid.
She's like, yep.
So this is
I
talking
second
about...
that.
Literally.
This is talking about... Oh man, this is hectic. So this is like, oh, what are some of the good parts about our relationship? I always say communication, but is it? The debate yesterday was aggressive and he took that as an insult. He's a wordsmith. He knows how to play things. His homestay, he wants me to sit on the beach and watch him surf. Sorry, but no, lol. I really hope he does something for me to prove it's just not about him. Okay, go in level-headed as an observer. I feel blank. I need blank. I don't want to talk about my child, but be the rising phoenix, Alyssa. Rise above it all. Everybody hates Harrison, but I think he gets me. How's that interesting?
Wow.
He's the only other one who does. My head is all over the place, but I need to listen to my gut, speak from the heart. People will feel it. They will feel and see Duncan being calculated. Trust yourself. The universe has your back, Alyssa.
Aww.
So that was a big thing about Harrison, because at retreat, when things were starting to break down, Harrison and I had a big one-on-one, and he was like, Alyssa, I understand completely how you're feeling about feeling a bit scared walking into the future with your child, because Harrison also has a very young kid. His little boy is the same age as Leon. And so I always understood Harrison from that point. Sometimes we would go into like dinner parties and stuff and everyone would be like, I hate Harrison. And I'm like, really? Like, is he that bad? Look, he's done some pretty shitty things, but Harrison and I definitely did understand each other when it came to that.
Yeah, you guys had that mutual respect.
Yeah, but I think it's really interesting that I said people will feel it. They will feel and see Duncan being calculated because they never did.
So did you feel somewhat blindsided with, how, Duncan, I guess, dropped the whole...
I feel like I never got a gut feeling that he was being authentic or that he was being genuine with me. I feel like he knew exactly what to say and how to say it, which is kind of what drew me in the beginning at the wedding, because he was like, oh my God, he's like this fairy tale man. He's doing and saying all the right things. Like, I can't believe it. Like, where has he been all my life? But then it just continued to be like, he's saying that, but is that really what he means? Or is he just saying that because that's what I want to hear? So it was really interesting because I didn't feel like he was being genuine. And then every time I would bring it up, my producer would give me this face and she'd be like, but your connection,
like, they want you to stay at the end.
Yes, exactly.
That would have kind of made you feel some type of way, man, like going all the way to the end to just go, wait, was that all for this?
Yes. So this is after wife swap. I said, Duncan has matched with Evelyn. It took him 15 minutes to come to the conclusion that he wasn't going to share a bed with her. WTF. My present he gave me was a photo of himself on the bed straddling my mixer. Fuck me. It is so cringe. I cannot even write it. It's always about him, always makes it about him. I keep thinking, are people going to see that? Or are they going to think I'm the bad person? Surely they will see it, right? Especially if Homestays is all about him. I live down the street. Why can't it be about me too?
Wow.
Yeah.
That's exactly how I saw it too, up until she told me the story.
Yeah, interesting.
So this one says, take it all in. Your life is going to change. Breathe, allow, change, embrace, listen, think, pause, reflect, love.
Just going back to the whole like couple swapping and everything and what you just said, do you feel, because I feel like on my season there were definitely favourites.
Yes.
Do you feel like he got a special treatment than you?
1,000% yes.
Wow.
It makes me wonder, like, did he have the same contract as everybody else? Because everything he said or did that was wrong was never shown. For example, and I think I say it in here as well, that like Duncan went off at Claire at the commitment ceremony so much that John Aiken yelled at him and was like, I feel like you guys are always going against the woman that has cheated in the relationship and you're not holding any accountability for the man. He's like, last night, Duncan, you sat there while Alyssa was berating Adam and you said nothing. And now you sit here and you're going after Claire. And so that night we went home and he's like, that can't be shown. I know how that's going to go. I need to call Alex and Molly straight away. And then it wasn't shown.
It's almost like painted his own picture, really.
100%.
Because we had a word, saying that it was his sister's friend that was, I think, a producer on the show. Yep. So do you feel like that probably had, an effect to how it was shown?
100%.
Because that's kind of crazy, man.
It's nuts. And I guess it would make sense because anything he did wrong was never shown. up until final vows. And I was like chatting with my sister and my dad. They were like, he is going to look like such a dick. They're like, you've got this, Alyssa. The things that he has done, the way that he has made you feel, the way that he's blindsided you to make you cry, everything that's transpired up to this, the way that he strung you along, until the very, very end. You gave him so many options to say, if you're not in this, then let me go home because I am sacrificing my child every single day that I am here, and I am not here for it unless you're in it 100%. And for him to continuously say, I am in it 100% until final vows, how does that make sense? Why couldn't you have just let me leave 6 weeks ago? Or like, when did the penny drop for him to say, this isn't good enough? Because we had such a good time, but there was all these little things that kept coming up. And then it's like, he just completely blindsided me at the end by dumping me. And it's like, for what reason?
Yeah. Girl, I can feel you on that. I still to this day don't even know what happened with Cody and I.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Because you guys both said yes, right?
Yeah.
And then at reunion, he broke up with you.
Yeah. But we had I don't know about your reunion, but there was like a 4 to 5 week gap.
Same.
from after the final vows to reunion, where
same.
you're off on your own, you're
Yes.
doing long distance. Well, we did long distance because I was still in Adelaide.
And he's one of the beaches, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so to do all of that and then to come back for him to be like, we're done. I'm like, what? And he
That's
still couldn't give me a
wild.
valid reason as to like why, which is shit for us because we can't actually grow as a person.
No.
And
Unless you have that closure as to why.
Literally.
Like, just tell me what I did wrong so I can fix it.
Yeah.
Wild.
I feel you.
Man, this is beautiful, girl. Honestly, I actually
a lot.
commend you. You know what I'm saying? For
you.
you know
Thanks,
having the
Taku.
courage to actually go on the show.
Thanks.
You know, and I think the biggest thing too, you bringing your journal. You know, I think for people that are going to be going on MAFS, you know, like if you is that something that you recommend people do? Journal as you go.
I was gonna say go on MAFS. No, definitely journal as you go. I feel like even if you're not on MAFS or if you're not on a reality TV, just getting your thoughts and your actions into journaling is such a big thing. If you're not a writer, do a video diary. Just pull up your phone. I have so many video diaries, most of me crying, of like of me where I'm just like I'm not able to put it down in paper, but I need to get those thoughts and
get it out,
feelings
most
documented
definitely.
somehow, and then you can go back and you can look at it and you can see the growth and you can just build on that. So absolutely, my biggest tip is to get a journal, and if you're not into journaling, just even do like voice notes and save them into your notes.
Agreed. I love that. That's such a good tip.
And is there any other pieces of advice that you would give any future contestants?
Slide into my DMs. Slide into my DMs. Look, if you're gonna do it, do it. But just, I don't want to say be calculated because I feel like some of the people that have been successful have been really calculated and really strategic with the way that they presented themselves. Again, being really careful, but who is that cheating? That's only cheating yourself if you're not being yourself and if you're being honest. But if you're going to be yourself and be vulnerable and be honest and lean in, you're the perfect person to manipulate. And so that could go either way for you.
Yeah.
true.
So
Agreed.
just slide into my DMs if you want to go on MAFS. We can have a little bit of a chat.
And then if you got a dad bod, you definitely ain't going on MAFS.
If you got a dad bod, you got some tats, you got some funny jokes.
Like
I'm here for it.
Yeah.
That's what's up.
Kids, yes.
If you want cakes as well.
Oh yeah, if you want cakes, slide into my DM.
Yeah.
Definitely. Man, once again, girl, thank you so much for taking the time out of the day, man. Come and see us, man.
We love you.
You guys have made it a really safe and comfortable space, and I appreciate it.
We got you, girl.
Thank you.
We love
And
you.
thanks to Hannah.
Almost definitely. Guys, thank you so much for listening. Listen, if you guys have got any more guests that you'd like to see in the studio, please do email us at backtoreality@novapodcast.com.au. But hey, until next time, see you soon.
Bye.
Bye. Thanks, guys.
Reality.